You fucking swine. You piece of shit. So, you know, the other day I was talking about how I haven't hit a clip in a while, and, yeah, things have not gotten any better. Honestly, things have gotten worse. It's almost like winning a goldfish at the state fair, and then, it fucking dies before you even get it in its own bowl. It's like you're all alone on the weekends and your favorite porn site is down. But yeah, just still haven't hit a clip. Still haven't hit one single thing. Basically just like an average every other day video. It's a bunch of fucking lowlights and me bitching like you know, usual. It's always the usual thing. I've been on such a low dry streak that it's honestly starting to affect my mood, and, like, honestly just starting to affect how I'm looking at this game right now. This team is honestly playing the fucking drop zone harder than a fucking erect 12-year-old. Because, you know, the content around here never really changes and shit, and I'm just a complete ass, you know, I'm just complete ass at this game, so, you know, I thought I would tell you guys, you know, a little story. Not most of my videos contain stories within them and shit, but normally most of the time it's just because it's just complete randomness, and I end up telling a story because of some shit that happens in the game, but this time, nothing has really happened. A little story from my childhood, from Premiere, from little baby Premiere. So this story brings me back to when I was really young, like, I was really young. I was like around 7 or 8 years old or so, around that time period, and I met this really hot chick, and she was my first crush. And first crushes are kind of weird because you don't really know why you crush on them. You don't know why you like that person, maybe because they were nice to you and they shared like a snack pack, some type of thing at lunch with you, or maybe just because they're pretty and they're just kind of nice to you. And that was kind of the case with me because I didn't go to school with this girl. She was neighbors with like my best friend at the time, and I was always over at his house. Like, we spent so much time together. She just was always around. She was just always hanging out. She was a little bit older than me. She was 12, 13 maybe. She was a little bit older than us, but we were really like the only people around like her age and stuff like that, like around her age at least. She was really cute. She had really long black hair and pale skin is fucking beautiful. Like, honestly, if you don't like pale skin, I mean, everyone has their own preference, but for me, pale skin is beautiful. I just love women with pale skin for some reason. I don't know why. It's just very attractive to me. She had kind of freckles on her face, but not really like a whole lot of them, and then she had like blue eyes, which was really weird. But yeah, she just was really cool. She was really nice to us, but she always like found favor with me, and I don't really know why. She always just wanted to really hang out with me and my buddy that was her neighbor, but like every single time that he wasn't around and I was around, she would always just really want to hang out with me for some reason, and we would always, you know, hang out every once in a while. I'd go ride my bike over to her house and just hang out for like a little bit, watch some cartoons, goof off, and that's really about it. You know, normal shit, just kid shit. We just always hung out a little bit. For some reason, I just always felt really attracted to her. Like, I would always just want to, you know, hang out with her, and she was just really cool, really nice to me and all this shit. Nothing ever really went weird or anything like that. We never really did anything like, you know, sexual or anything like that, because we're just fucking kids, and, you know, kids don't really think like that. And I remember one of these times I came over to her house just to hang out. Me and my buddy, we went over to her house just to hang out, watch some TV, you know, just chillax. And her parents weren't home, which was like, to us, you know, we really didn't care because we were just kids. But her parents always said like no boys and stuff over. And so we went over to her house and we just started watching TV in her room and just started chilling. And she had asked me and my friend if we had a crush on her, and we both kind of said, well, yeah. She just thought that was really cute and really funny. Her parents get home, and her parents were like some old biker people. Like, they were like really into riding bikes and stuff. They were just really bikered out people, and they were kind of scary to us. Her dad almost looked like Brock Lesnar. Like, this motherfucker could kill someone. All right, this dude was huge. Like, he was just muscular as fuck. Her parents got home and they opened up the door and we're in her room. You know, two dumbass boys just sitting in her room, and we panicked. We fucking panicked. We jumped out her window and we went over to my buddy's house that was just right across the road from her, and we hid out there for like a little while. The next day we were riding our bikes around and he stops us. Her dad stops us and grabs us, and he's like, hey, you guys aren't ever allowed to come over to my house ever again. And we're just like, okay, yes sir, we're sorry for jumping out the window, we're sorry for running, I'm really sorry. Basically, that was really about it for a while. Like, we didn't go over to her house for a long time, and then she started to come out and hang out with us a little bit more again every once in a while. So about a couple months later, after all that shit happened, I moved. I ended up moving away. A couple years later, I actually come back on a visit, and she still lives there, and she still lives in the exact same house, and nothing has really changed, but she's gotten a little bit older. So I come back a couple years later, and, you know, obviously some things have changed. You know, she's grown some things that weren't there before. Yeah, she's grown some titties and stuff, and, you know, I just wasn't really thinking about that when I was a kid, but she still kind of remembers me when I got back. She remembers me just a little bit. All she really remembers is that we ran from her parents and that I had a crush on her when I was a kid. I was only there for like a couple of weeks, and we just started hanging out pretty much a lot. Like, every single day we hung out. So like, I had like 2 weeks of just hanging out with this really hot chick. Fast forward a couple of days later, and it's my last day there, and I'm just, you know, kind of sad that I didn't want to leave. Basically just hanging out with all my childhood friends again. It was really cool, and I was gonna miss my friends. I didn't want to leave. I was kind of sad, didn't really want to leave, and she said that she wanted to make me happy. She wanted to cheer me up. She told me and my buddy to come over to her house at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and her parents weren't gonna be home. It was just gonna be, you know, a relaxing time. And now I have not been over to her house in like 4 years after that one incident where her dad chased us out of her house. But you know, being a bunch of dumbass idiots, we said, yeah, we'll come over at 2 o'clock and it'll be awesome. We go over to her house, we knock on her front door, and she opens the door and she has a friend there, and they both run back into her bedroom. So we're just sitting outside of her door, and all we hear is a bunch of laughing and giggling, and we don't really know what's going on. We're just a bunch of idiots, and you know, basically we're just like, what's going on in there? You know, what's so funny? Like, what's going on? And we just hear a bunch of giggling and stuff, and you know, obviously us being a bunch of curious boys and stuff, and we want to know what the hell's going on. We want to know what's going on in her room. And so we start knocking on the door, asking her to let us in, and she kept saying no. Like, in a kind of like a, not like a no, like a demanding no. Like, it was more of like a no. We're just like a bunch of dumbass kids, so we're just, you know, really fucking curious. We want to know what's going on in this room. So we keep knocking on her door to let us in, and she just keeps laughing and giggling at us, and just, you know, we thought it was kind of like a game or something like that. Well, it kind of was a game until her fucking door broke off. Yeah, we ended up pounding on the door so hard that her hinges fell off. Like, her door just fucking fell. What I saw that day was one of the most amazing things that I think I've ever seen in my life. Little me, little Premiere. It was the first time I saw a pair of titties. It was awesome. It was fucking amazing. It was like mind-blowing. You know what's best is when you see 2 pair of titties on your first time seeing titties. And I got to see it with my best friend. It was just one of those weirdest things. But yeah, but because we broke her fucking door down, she ended up chasing us through her house, which was, you know how hard it is to run forward when you're looking behind you? It's like the fucking hardest thing ever. You're running through a house you don't know the layout of, but you don't want to look forward because you're staring at someone running at you topless. As a fucking idiot 12-year-old. But yeah, we ended up getting out of the house, we ran away, we made it to safety. They ended up calling her dad. And he ended up showing up at my buddy's house and knocking on the door, and we answered it. And he just stood there looking at us, menacing as fuck. He just stood there looking at us like, breathing hard and shit, like he was gonna whoop our fucking 12-year-old asses. Actually, I wasn't even scared at that point. I was just like, I think he's gonna fucking kill us, so I was making good with the Lord and thanking him at the same time. He just sat there and just looked there and said, boys, do you understand that you broke down my daughter's door? And we just sat there and we're like, yeah. We're sorry. Just sitting there saying, yes, sir, no, sir, thank you, sir, don't hurt us, sir. You know, basically sounding like fucking Morty from Rick and Morty. But yeah, basically he just said, don't fucking ever do that again. And if you do, I'm telling your parents and I'm calling the cops. And, we just fucking said, yes, sir, dude. We were just kind of pussies. We just didn't say shit. So yeah, basically, you know what? Having my first crush ended up leading to, me having my very first B&E and seeing my very first pair of titties. Worked out pretty damn well, you know? I didn't even get in trouble, nothing really. So yeah. Basically, that's how my first crush went. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like and subscribe if you feel like it. Hope the rest of your day is the absolute best of your day, guys. And as always, peace, peace.